is by an amazing artist, Allan Ramsay. And of course, everyone knows who Allan Ramsay is. Well, if you don't, you should know. He's a very important painter of the sort of 18th century in Britain. He was the principal painter in ordinary to King George III. Now, of course, that doesn't mean a lot to us today, but essentially it means he was the official court painter. And so he was commissioned to do all of the coronation portraits, which is what we see in this wonderful painting, and a lot of the other royal portraits as well. Well, what's so interesting about this portrait, of course, it is an official coronation portrait. So it's from the coronation of King George III in 1762. And it's a really important painting because it really shows that moment where he became king. It's got all of the regalia associated with the royalty. Of course, you've got crown, you've got the Order of the Garter that he's wearing, you've got the wonderful ermine robes, and of course that fabulous cloth of gold suit that you see him in, which would have shimmered so beautifully in that wonderful candlelight that you would have seen at the coronation.
I was in the store at Bendigo Art Gallery and surveyed the damage in order to prepare a quote for the treatment of the painting. And at the time I was able to get a very good idea about the scale of the project. The most obvious issue that was apparent is the generalised flaking in the paint layer and loss of paint. So that was an immediate alert to me about some long-term damage and a lack of stability in the paint layer. But I was also very aware, once I'd undertaken a little bit of testing, that the painting was extremely dirty. Now, the dirt layer can comprise both a layer of grime, just general soil that accumulates over time, and then beneath that you might find a layer of discoloured varnish. During the testing process, I was able to determine that the varnish layer was probably a natural resin varnish, and the testing suggested to me that it was a dammar varnish, and it was used extensively in European paintings. But we know over a short period of time it can deteriorate and yellow and become very discoloured. But the good thing about dammar varnish is that it does retain a high level of solubility over time. Even though it looks very discoloured, it can be removed quite readily with solvents, and the testing that I undertook in Bendigo Art Gallery suggested to me that it was going to be quite a straightforward varnish removal. So I was quite happy about that.
The Bendigo Art Gallery acquired this significant work from a generous benefactor many years ago. It was displayed in the Bendigo Law Courts for many years until it was brought back to the Bendigo Art Gallery. The Bendigo Art Gallery would like to undertake conservation of this important painting. Extensive conservation is required to stabilise the work and to repair the paint and also to repair the frame. We're seeking your support to raise $50,000 for the conservation of this very important painting. That will enable us to hang it in the Bendigo Art Gallery for the first time, and will also enable us to preserve it for future generations to enjoy.